What's good, y'all? It's your boy Chit Dude, and this is the first episode of the Chit Chat. Let's go! It's the NBA playoffs. Let's go! I'm hyped. This is the best time of year. The first round is essentially over, and to be real, it was pretty boring. I think we pretty much knew the outcomes of every series. But for me, the most entertaining series of the first round had to be OKC versus Portland. Both teams had something to prove this year after taking first round L's last year, and they're teams that were evenly matched, and it had a nice dose of drama. No lie, I didn't really believe in Dame after last year. He's amazing in the regular season, all NBA team for sure, but in the postseason, he tends to come up short. So he had a tough matchup this first round against Russ. So I really wanted to see how he would fare, and he fared pretty well. He definitely outplayed Russ this year. I had the Thunder winning the series, so when Portland went up 2-0, just seeing the way Dame was hooping, I was like, oh, okay, like they might actually take this series, and they did thanks to a dagger by Dave Dallas, which set OKC home in 6. I've always said that the Blazers are a wing away from being a title contender, and I stand by it. Their combo guard backcourt is lethal, but that's not enough in today's game. You need that elite two-way wing as your main ingredient for championships. Say the Warriors win their third chip this year. If I'm KD, you're going to be a free agent this summer. The Blazers, they're definitely a team I'd be looking at. You know, they have Dame and CJ in the backcourt. They have Aminu, they have Harkless, they have Cantor, Nurkic, like Seth Curry, like they have a great shooting team. They have a solid coach, and they're always one of the top 5 teams in the West. So if I'm KD, I definitely take a look at them. Like back to the series, and they should have drafted him too. I mean, back in 2007, they had the chance to draft him at number 1, but they went with Greg Oden. I mean, Greg Oden was special, but you know, injuries derailed his career, so that sucks. But back to the series, though. I like the Thunder until the Blazers washed them at home, folded them boys, and sent them back to OKC down 2-0. I was like, yeah, Dame's not playing this year. And he proved to be big time hitting that shot over PG, like I said, to send OKC to an early summer. Next, Portland faces the winner of the Spurs and Nuggets. But truth be told, I like their chances to make it to the Western Conference. They're in the easier bracket of the West. They don't have to face the Warriors in the semis. So they had the easiest path to the Western Conference Finals. And after what I saw against the Thunder, I don't think Dame is playing this year. I think he's heard the critics and he's like, yo, it's time to go. He put the league on notice, and they're playing great basketball. So they have a great chance of going to the Western Conference Finals. The Eastern Conference Semifinals, though, is set, so that is what I'm going to talk about. Let's start with the Celtics. First off, they played the Pacers in the first round, which was essentially a first round bye. But before I get into that, I want to shout out my boy Davon Reed, one of my childhood friends. Grew up with him. He's playing on the Pacers now, and shout out to you for making your dreams come true. Like, that's great, Brody. I'm wishing you well, and all love from this side. Shout out to you, bro. But anyway, it's the Celtics. The Celtics swept the Pacers, did them 4-0. Playoff time is centered around how many stars you have as well as how deep your team is. The Pacers were without Oladipo, so they were already at a disadvantage, and the Celtics capitalized on that. Granted, the Celtics were without Smart, but it gave guys like Jaylen Brown an opportunity to earn more minutes, and he proved worthy. He dropped 23 in Game 3. And Gordon Hayward, he's also starting to look like his old self. He did get banged on by Miles Turner, but I like how he contested that shot, because nowadays nobody likes to contest dunks. Like, nobody wants to be put on the highlight reel on Instagram or social media. But hey, that's the name of the game. If you see some dude about to go up and bang it, go up with him and try and block it. You feel me? I wouldn't. I wouldn't go up with him, because I got banged on before. And let me tell you, that's not fun. It's really not fun. So I respect Gordon Hayward for going up with him. But anyway, The Celtics, they played a solid series. I mean, they swept them. And I liked how the Celtics looked this series. You feel me? Like, Kyrie being the leader of that team, he did what he had to do. Like, I love Kyrie, man. One, he's from Jersey, and two, he reminds me of a young Kobe, which is my favorite player ever. No Kobe slander. As I do these videos, as I go on with these videos, that's my one rule. No Kobe Bean Bryant slander. Because that's my guy, and I won't tolerate it, okay? But my only concern about the Celtics is that they had to come back in a couple of those games against the Pacers, you know? Like, if the Pacers had Oladipo, that series easily would have went to 6 games. Maybe even 7, you know? So, the Celtics, they lucked out. They lucked out. In the next round versus the Bucks, though, they're not going to make that... The Bucks aren't going to make that many mistakes. They're also led by, in my opinion, the MVP of the league, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That series is a toss-up. As great as Giannis is, this is unfamiliar territory for Milwaukee. Do I think they could do it? Sure, but it's going to be tough. Both these teams essentially had a first-round bye going against already depleted opponents. The East is further taken, and a new team is going to rise. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. I have the Celtics at 7. I think they can gut this one out. I expect an MVP performance from Giannis, though, for sure. But no Brogdon for the first 2 games is definitely an issue for Milwaukee. If I'm the Celtics, I'm letting Giannis go to work. Let Giannis do what he usually does. Because you can't stop him. I'm talking about 27, 12, and 6. You're not shutting that down. But you could shut everyone else down. It'll definitely be hard. We're talking about the best offense in the league. But I truly believe that if the Celtics limit the Bucks' 3-point shooting and try and contain guys like Eric Bledsoe and Chris Middleton, they'll win this series. So it's definitely a toss-up, but I've liked the Celtics all year. I think that the Celtics can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. The NBA Finals. I've stood by that, so I can't jump off the bandwagon now. So I'm rolling with the Celtics at 7 for this series, but it's going to be a great series. I can't wait to watch it. Next, we have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors. Let me tell y'all this. This is a great matchup. You have the best big man in the league going up against one of the best two-way players in the game today. I was a little concerned about the Raptors after they blew the first game to the Magic. I was like, oh, here we go again. Another pathetic postseason after a solid regular season. But they quickly buried that matter, winning 4 straight to oust the Magic. The Sixers had a dramatic first-round series against the Brooklyn Nets, who had an incredible season, by the way. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. Hats off to them. They definitely made their team an attractive destination for free agents this summer. Kevin Durant, he would fit nice on that team. I know I said it earlier with the Blazers, but Kevin Durant would fit nice on the Nets. I'm a fan of the Nets. I like what they're doing there. They have a solid team. Shout out to my boy D'Lo. My Lakers should have never traded him. And they have a solid coach. They have people like Chris LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie. They're hooping. They're a great team. I would go there. That would be one of the teams that I would look at if I was a free agent. But anyway, Embiid was unstoppable that series. I mean, that man had 25 and 13 in that series, which are great numbers. The Sixers, they go as far as Embiid goes, which is a good and a bad thing. Good because he's one of the best in the game, and when he has a solid game, they usually win. But bad because Embiid is very injury prone, and he's also the focal point of the offense. So if he can't stay healthy in this series, then I don't think the Sixers have any chance. I love how the Sixers played in Game 3 versus the Nets, though. The ball was moving and everyone was scoring, similar to the Warriors style of basketball. Simmons had 31, Tobias had 29, JJ Redick had 26. Granted, they had to pick up the slack because Embiid was out, but if they play like this all the time, they'd run through the East. It wouldn't even be a question, but they don't. So that's why I'm going with the Raptors in this series. I think the Raptors are valid this year. I'm a huge fan of Kawhi's game, but I think his supporting cast is legit this year. Shoot, they have to make some noise if they're trying to keep Kawhi beyond this season. I've said it. I've been on the record saying that I think they have to make it to either the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals for at a chance to keep Kawhi. I think if they don't make it, I think he's out of there. But Siakam though, Siakam is hooping. He's the most improved player for sure. Like he had his way against the Magic, and he should have his way against the 76ers. I'm not a huge fan of Kyle Lowry. I really think he is a liability for the Raptors. But if he has a successful series versus the Sixers, I'll seize my slander. Don't count the Sixers out, though. It's going to be a tough series, and the Sixers starting five is one of the best in the league. I know I'm going to receive some slander from my Philly boys for this, but I'm going with the North in 6. It's going to be a great series. Make sure you tune in. The East semifinals is you can catch the games on TNT, ABC, and my favorite network, ESPN. That's a wrap from the first episode of the Chin Chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. God bless. One love.